Hi friends, welcome to my channel JJ Edu-tube. Our channel entertain you, educate you and empower you.
So today we are learning about concept mapping, जिसको हिंदी में संकल्पना मानचित्रण ऐसे भी कहते हैं. तो कंसेप्ट मैपिंग का सिंपल मीनिंग map of concept. It's nothing but a map of concept, just like a map of country, map of state, map of concept we are going to learn how to draw. So first of all, concept mapping is developed by Joseph Novak in 1960. Why concept mapping? Why we should make a map of concept? Before getting answer of these questions, let me first discuss how our brain works. That's how learning will take place. So as all of we know, if teacher, being as a teacher, if you explain or if you only talking or if you only using lecture methods, chances are there that your student will forget most part of that within a few hours. So that's why I say, if I hear, I forget. Second, if being as a teacher, if you show them something, if you show some pictures, if you show some diagram, chances are there student will remember some part of that. That means to show something is always better than only lecture method, because when we show something, that information, when we show in a visual form, our brain interpret that and memorize that information very well. But instead of only hearing and showing, if you do something, if you motivate student or if you ask student to do something, student will understand that concept. That means doing something, doing related to your topic, that means students' actual participation is most important in education. So this our concept mapping is related with this. I do and I understand. That means here students are activated or involved in the process of learning. Then what is mean by concept mapping? So concept mapping is nothing but concept map begins with main idea. That means main topic, main concept, and then it's branch out to show that how that main idea can be broken down into specific topic. As you can see at the top of the screen here, a example, or we can say a logo of concept mapping is showing, where main concept is suppose ABC, and that is related with same sub-concept or your sub-idea like XYZ, PQR, STP, JRJ, IMN, etc. Okay. So that means concept mapping is a diagram which show hierarchy and relationship among concepts. So how it work, we will see it later on. So first of all, before actually doing with one example of concept mapping, let us understand what are the elements or what are the factors which are important for the concept mapping. So there are certain factors. One is a nodes. Nodes is nothing but a geometrical shape which represent that concept. That shape may be in a square form, in a circular form, in a semicircular form, whatever you prefer. And like you can see here, PQ or XYZ or ABCD written, you write your main concept or sub-concept in that block or in that geometrical shape. That's called nodes. Then straight line or curl line or arrow which shows the relationship between that concept. Okay, so we have to use sometime maybe straight line, maybe curve line, maybe arrows that will connect that shape, and we show the relationship of one concept with the another concept. And one more important part, that the text on that line, whenever you are showing a relationship with these lines, don't forget to write some words, which propositions which indicate a kind of relationship of that concept with the another concept. So these are the main elements which are important in the concept mapping. Now, how to do the concept mapping? What are the steps of concept mapping? That is, we are going to discuss. So first step of concept mapping is a brainstorming phase. The word itself says that brainstorming, that together we sit and we discuss on a certain concept. So let the student decide on what concept they want to work, or what the concept of which they are going to make a concept mapping. So you make the team of students, group of students, and let them, give them freedom to decide their topic. So student will discuss on their subject, discuss on their different topics, subtopic, concept, and they will finalize one concept. They will find out the main concept on which they are going to draw a concept map. And again, they will find out what are the main concept, what are the sub-concepts related to that concept, and they will, what is the relationship between that. They all will decide it in a brainstorming phase, before making actual concept map. Okay. Then come to the second step, or second phase, is a organizing phase. The word itself, organizing, is nothing but we organize together whatever the concept and sub-concept we are decided. We may organize on the blackboard, we may organize that properly on one paper sheet, and we may organize as per their hierarchy level. For example, suppose if I want to teach a states of matter, so here you can see states of matter. We know there are different states: solid states, liquid state, gaseous states. Again, solid states examples: ice and wood; liquid states, water and oil, etc. Gases, air, nitrogen, etc. Again, solid is having properties or characteristics like nature, rigid, definite volume, definite shape, like that. Liquid is having fluid nature, definite volume, indefinite shape, etc. Gases, fluid in shape, volume, shape are indefinite. Molecules, force very weak. So these are some properties we know that we decided, and here we organize according to the subtopic. That is, solid is one subtopic or one subconcept, and these are solids property. Liquid is one subconcept, these are properties. Gases is one subconcept, these are properties of gases. And states of matter is a main concept. So we organize whatever the information, whatever the characteristic properties we get out from brainstorming. Then the next step, that is layout phase. Again, the layout you can see in the diagram on the right hand side. That diagram itself represents a layout. As we know, when we a builder plan to construct any building, so before actual work, what he did, he will get the layout of that building from architecture or from some planner, set where should be bedroom, where should be hall, like that. We are also making a layout of our concept map, that where is the main concept, where is the sub-concept, like that. Okay, so we plan that, and we use some geometrical shape, obviously, some tools, some arrows to lay out that. So here we can say that this is a layout. So here is my main concept, here is my sub-concept, solid, liquid, gases. Here should be example, and these are the properties of solid, these are the properties of liquid, these are the properties of gases. So I make the layout of concept map. This is the layout phase. Then the next phase is a linking phase. The word itself says that we are, whatever we make the layout, we link that with the help of arrow, with the help of straight line or maybe curl line. So in a linking phase, we link a different concept using arrows, line, etc. And sometimes we write a words or proposition to clarify the relationship between a different concept. Here with this example which I made, states of matter, here we can say, we can see that states of matter is a main concept, solid is a sub-concept, liquid is another sub-concept, gases is another sub-concept, and solid is having its properties. Example, ice, wood, these are the properties. These are the properties of liquid, fluids and all that. These are the properties and example of gases. And that I connect with sometimes with arrows. Okay, and on that arrow I write something. Here states of matter can be solid. Here I write can be liquid, can be gases, like that. Or solid after heating may be converted into liquid. Liquid after heating may be converted into gases. So in a short word, I will write something which show the relationship of that concept with the another subtopic or the another concept. In this way, we link. And the last step is nothing but a finalization of that concept. In finalized step, we finalize our concept mapping. We may use a differently, we may use a different geometrical shape, and you can use your creativity. You can use a different shapes, you can use a different color, highlight that concept like this I use over here. So these are finalized steps of your concept. So in this way, concept mapping will help us to understand that concept. And when the students make the concept map on their own, they will understand that concept very well. They will understand the relationship between the main concept and the different subtopic. Okay, so in this way we can make a concept map. Now, what are the significance of this concept map? It makes teaching learning process more effective, as students are also involved in that. So teaching learning process is become more effective. Students understand concept rather than memorizing it. When I talking or when I showing, student will memorize. But if students are doing on their own, making a concept map, then they will understand that concept very well. Student recalling learn concept become more easy. They can recall it more easily. It enhance the relationship of one concept with other. They will understand what is the relationship of one concept with other. Easy to copy notes during lecture. If the teacher is teaching in this way, if the students are doing a work in that way, it's easy to understand, easy to copy that work. Enhance brainstorming thinking ability as students are brainstorming and making the notes. It helps to plan our study daily work more efficiently, effectively. Not only in a study, but daily work also we can plan in this way. So our work is become more easy. It converts information or knowledge in a graphical structure. That's why student will understand that, student will recall that very well. It boosts creativity of student and teacher as they are using different shape, different connection, different colors, different way of making a concept map. So it will boost their creativity. It helps to organize information is well connected schemas. Okay, information, whatever the knowledge we are getting, that we can organize in a structural form, in a concept map. Student understand a relationship among different concepts through the concept map. Student control their own learning and monitor their progress. They can learn on their own, control their learning. It helps teacher to engage their student and motivate their learning. Okay, because of this, student will get engaged. So no need of class controlling, no issues of class controlling, student will motivate. It helps student brainstorm and generate news idea from this, and many more significance or benefits of this concept mapping up there. You can make a list of this. The list is goes on. Okay.
Thanks for watching my video. If you like it, please subscribe our channel, share it with your friends, and yes, don't forget to press bell icon to get updates from our channel. So thanks again and stay tuned with JJ Edu-tube. Thank you.